Hey guys, this is Valentina Palladino for Ars Technica, and today I'm here with one of Lenovo's newest products. This is the Lenovo Yoga Book, and this is a very interesting little device. It kind of combines the size of a netbook with the flexibility of a convertible and the creativity power of a tablet that has a stylus attached to it. Aside from the kind of unique design that you can see just when you look at it, it's very thin, it has what Lenovo calls a halo keyboard, so it's a completely keyless keyboard. It's just a backlit keyboard that you type on. It gives you haptic feedback. It's a very interesting way of doing it, and it also makes the design very striking. But at the same time, underneath that keyboard you have a Wacom digitizer. So you can use that along with the real pen that comes with it to take notes and doodle and all that kind of stuff. So the Yoga Book comes in two versions. There's an Android version that runs Android 6 for about $500, and the one that I have is the Windows 10 version, which is $550. So let's jump in. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Windows version of the Lenovo Yoga Book. So one of the things I really liked about the Yoga Book is its design. When I unboxed it, I was shocked by how small it was. This is a 10.1-inch device, and it has that Lenovo watch band hinge here. So when you flip it around, it will lie, thanks to both the watch band hinge and the Halo keyboard, it lies completely flat, and it's about 9.6 millimeters thick when it's completely flat, which is super thin, and it's also only about a pound and a half in weight. So it's super light, it's very easy to bring around with you. And I also do like the Halo keyboard just as a design element and something different. It's definitely really striking. People will probably ask you about it if you're using this out and about, but it really adds to the design of the Yoga Book. And again, the watch band hinge makes it a really nice convertible, very seamless convertible. Another good thing about the Yoga Book is the Wacom digitizer underneath the Halo keyboard. So you're not going to be able to really see this, but when you use the real pen that Lenovo provides with the Yoga Book, you can really doodle very nicely. With the Windows version, you have access to OneNote. That is kind of the default program that opens up when you tap the little pen icon on the keyboard, and that means that you're going to not use the keyboard itself, but you're going to use the Wacom digitizer underneath to use the pen. It's very receptive just to anything really. It's also pressure sensitive, so the more you press on with the real pen, the heavier the strokes will come out. And it's super great for taking notes and also doodling. I really do like this for taking notes, especially if you use OneNote. You can kind of sync everything across your Microsoft account, and it's just a nice kind of different way to use it. The digitizer also works really well across different types of apps, so you can go into the Microsoft App Store and get something like this one that I have here is Autodesk Sketchbook, and I just have the free version, but this gives you a bunch of different brush strokes, different types of things you can use to draw, and it's a really cool creative tool if you're into that kind of thing, if you like to doodle, in between meetings, or if you are an artist and you need something like this. It's kind of the smaller, more compact version of Surface or Surface Book, that kind of thing. So the other good thing about the digitizer and the pen in general is just that the pen is very convenient to use. Unlike other styluses, this does not need to be charged, nor does it have any batteries inside of it. So you can just use it whenever you want. Unfortunately, the Yoga Book doesn't really have a place for you to store it, so it's going to be something extra that you have to bring with you. But it is a very nice stylus, and also it comes with some refills. So this is a stylus tip here, but if you take off the cap and kind of take this off, you have to kind of angle it in a certain way and then pull. It comes with these actual pen tips. So this is used when you want to take actual notes on the provided book pad that Lenovo gives you. It's this little pad here that has just kind of dotted size A5 paper on it, and you can refill that. What you can do is take the real pen, put the ink refills in, and write physical notes on the book pad while it's sitting on top of the digitizer. It's a magnetic back here, and all of those notes that you take on physical paper will be backed up digitally on OneNote or whatever program that you're using. It's nice if you like to have physical copies of your notes, or if that's just what you have on hand and you want to connect it and have a digital backup, so that's very convenient. But I really like that the pen is kind of a no-brainer pen. You don't have to recharge it, you don't have to worry about batteries, and it does come with some refills for you to use with the ink. So you have to put the stylus into this little hole in the cap and kind of angle it and then pull, and see how that just dropped everywhere. That takes out the little stylus tip, And then you can take the ink tip and just insert it like this. Okay, that's gonna be hard to get out. So this sits right on top of that keyboard and Wacom digitizer. And then you can use this. As you can see here, there's my physical notes that I wrote with the ink pen, and then it shows up here in OneNote as a digital backup. The only issue I've experienced with the ink refills is that it took a little bit for me to get the ink out every once in a while. It looks like the ink is running out sometimes, but that can be, just like a regular pen. You can kind of just scribble to get more ink out on the actual paper pad. This A5 size pad that it comes with, you can replace this when you're done with it. The little dots here don't have anything to do with the digitizer or anything. That's just so you can line up if you're drawing or use it as a guide for when you're writing. But you can take this out and then you have space for another A5 size notepad. So the last good thing about the Yoga Book is its battery life. Lenovo kind of estimated that it would get about 13 hours on a single charge, and in our battery test, that proved to be true. For our default test, it got just about 13 hours on average, and in our WebGL test, which is more graphics intensive, it lasted about 6 hours, just under 6 hours. So it's pretty good. You'll be able to get at least a full day's worth of work out of this. So now on to the not so great things about the Yoga Book. The one thing that's going to be a little bit of a hindrance here is the Halo keyboard. And this is only going to be applicable to certain people. So for someone like me who spends most of her day typing, this is not a device that I want to use. You can't really type, for me, I couldn't type a full article out on this without typing a lot of mistakes or just going really, really slow. I guess one of the good things about the Halo keyboard is that you can have sound and haptic feedback when you're typing, which definitely helped me when I was typing out, testing out how long it would take me to type a paragraph or something. So that really did help. But after a while, it kind of gets annoying, but you can turn those things off. You really have to get used to it and get really good at typing on it because it is such a different experience than a regular keyboard. So don't expect to be typing out full novels on the Halo keyboard. Another not so great thing about the Yoga Book is the trackpad on the Halo keyboard. It's just too small. It's really, really small, at least for me. It measures about 2 3/4 inches by 1.5 inches. And the problem that I ran into the most is that when I was swiping upward or, going up towards the keyboard, I would often kind of slide my finger off the trackpad and hit the space button when all I wanted to do was kind of tap things. That can get really annoying if you're used to an expansive, very large trackpad like on most laptops now. That was definitely an annoyance, and I would say that was on par, if not more annoying than the typing experience on the Halo keyboard, because after a while I could type a few sentences, type a paragraph without, getting too many mistakes. But with the trackpad, it was just a consistent annoyance where I would run my finger off of it. So the last not so great thing about the Yoga Book is its performance. So the specs inside both the Android version and the Windows version are the same. So that's a good thing. Inside is an Atom processor, an Intel Atom processor, Intel HD 400 graphics, and 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage, but that can be expanded to up to 128 gigabytes with a micro SD card because there's a slot on the side. So unfortunately, in all of our testing, it was much lower than any of the other convertibles that we've tested so far. And we haven't really tested an Atom processor unit in a while just because it is a lower powered processor. When compared to the new Kaby Lake processors and any of the other convertibles that we've tested recently, it didn't really stand up to them. Even the Huawei MateBook, which is this very similar to it in price and style, performed better than the Yoga Book. And even in my just personal experience, once I got to about 5, 6, 7 tabs, it started to slow down dramatically. So in conclusion, I really did like using the Lenovo Yoga Book. It had a very different feel to it than any of the convertibles that I've tested recently. And I just liked how unique it was with the keyboard and the real pen and how well those things work together. And all of those things, while they have their cons to them, make this a very interesting and very cool looking device. And for an artist or an aspiring artist, this could be a pretty affordable secondary device or just a companion device for when you want to take something digital out with you. I do think that this has its place, even though it's kind of reaching out into a bunch of different areas. But if you want a secondary device to bring with you when you don't want to lug your laptop around, this might be a good device for you, especially if you are also into that creative outlet of doodling or taking physical notes.